Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Joe, and if you're new here, I'm currently just documenting my weight loss journey, fitness journey, here on YouTube for everyone to see and hopefully learn something and hopefully be able to inspire some people. I'm currently down 60 pounds and growing that number. Kind of just talk about how I got started and all that stuff. But in this video, if you look back to my previous videos, you know I started off taking Wegovy, and after taking Wegovy to kind of kickstart my weight loss, I stopped taking it and then transitioned to Mounjaro. And now I'll just tell you how I feel about both of them and my experiences, and then also which one I prefer. Why I started taking Wegovy in the first place. So I was able to lose probably about, I'd say 20 of the pounds on my own, diet, exercise, all that fun stuff. But then once I got to 20 pounds, I hit like a plateau, and it just, for some reason, I couldn't lose any more weight no matter what I did. And at that point, I saw a video about Wegovy. So once I saw the video about Wegovy, I did my research, talked to my doctor, kind of talked to my doctor about what it does. He had never heard of it at the time, and then he agreed to send a prescription in for me to get it. At the time, Wegovy was relatively new, so it did take a while because of just supply chain issues with it, which I know are still existing. And of course, fighting with the insurance company. Fighting with the insurance companies is probably the biggest thing about weight loss medication. Is weight loss, obesity and being overweight isn't looked at as like a medical condition really in the insurance world. So when you need help with losing weight, you're kind of on your own unless you can prove that you really need the help or that there's other health implications that are coming from being overweight. For me, my insurance company asked that there were several things that I tried prior to getting the prior authorization approved. I had already tried all of those things. So after a little bit of back and forth, I was able to get it approved. Once I got it approved, it was $25 a month with the savings card. So that brings me to the first thing that I'm going to compare with Mounjaro and Wegovy, and that is price. So from a price standpoint, and I'm speaking from personal experience because I know each pharmacy, it's not the same price everywhere. For me, Wegovy, if I were to pay cash, was going to be $1,400 a month, and Mounjaro cash is $1,100 a month. The good thing about Mounjaro compared to Wegovy is that when you get Mounjaro, all you need to have is commercial insurance. If you have commercial insurance, and I don't know if this is still the way it works, but at least when I started taking it, if you have commercial insurance, you're able to utilize their savings card. If you utilize their savings card, it'll bring the price down for the medication to $25 a month. As opposed to Wegovy, the only way you can use their savings card to save the maximum of $250 a month is if you have your prior authorization or if your insurance approves the medication, and then you're able to save that money. Because prior to that, you're only saving $250 off of the cash price, which still, unless you're made of money, is a lot of money to be spent. I mean, that's over $12,000 a year just in medication alone. And that's not funding the healthy lifestyle that has to come with taking the medicine. So from a price standpoint, Mounjaro makes more sense. Now, as far as the injection method, the pen, the mechanism, how it gets injected, that's another thing we'll talk about. I personally like Mounjaro better because you push it, you unlock it, you push it against your skin, you press a button, and then it injects. As opposed to Wegovy, where you had to push it against your skin until it injected, and then you had to leave it there for 15 seconds. Mounjaro, you can see it goes in, the needle retracts, the medicine's gone. You take it, dispose of it. So, both of them are relatively painless. A few weeks it'll hurt. Most 90% of the time, and you don't even feel the injection. So I'm not even going to cover the pain of injection because it doesn't exist. They're such small needles. It just doesn't. Nothing that needs to be focused on. Let's talk about side effects. Probably the most important thing. The one thing I will say is when you do your research online and you look up, if you look up Wegovy, you look up Mounjaro, and you go on the Facebook pages, a lot of people post when they have negative experiences, but you don't hear about the good. For me, I try and post videos being open and transparent about the good that comes with what I'm doing and the bad. The good was losing weight. I lost a lot more weight on Wegovy than I have on Mounjaro. I wasn't really doing much different. I think I was a little more consistent as far as my diet is concerned when it comes to Wegovy. But Mounjaro still, I think it's supposed to be a 24% or 25% reduction in body weight at max dosage, as opposed to Wegovy, which is 14% at max dosage. So my weight loss was greater on Wegovy, but I also think I had a more consistent diet and exercise regimen. So with Mounjaro, I started Mounjaro, I was probably about a little over 260. I'm now 247. So let's say I've lost 15 pounds on Mounjaro and 45 pounds on Wegovy. I was on Wegovy for a lot longer than I've been on Mounjaro so far. So once I'm able to move up in dosages, I will do so. And then let's talk about now, and this is also playing into the side effect side of things. Let's talk about going up in dosages and how it affected my side effects. So both medications, the base dosage, the lowest dose, I took, and of course, when you first take a medicine like this, your body's going to react, to me, the strongest, the first dose. And that's how it worked for me. So I had the greatest appetite suppression after the first dose. I had the most nausea, headache, tired, things like that. And it got a little bit better each week. And it felt like once it finally started getting better and the side effects, the fourth week kind of stopped, is right when it's time to go up a next dose. And as you go up next dose, it's kind of the same thing. To me, it's the same thing, same side effects, just like the appetite suppression and things along those lines last longer the higher the dose, if that makes sense. But from a side effect standpoint, when I'm comparing the two medications, on Wegovy, I was nauseous. On Mounjaro, nauseous. On Wegovy, I was getting headaches. I haven't had that happen to me with Mounjaro. On Wegovy, I was having trouble sleeping. I was sweating at night. Same thing with Mounjaro. The one thing that I have noticed that Wegovy did a lot worse for me that Mounjaro hasn't done is lowering my blood sugar and causing fatigue. When it comes to looking at Wegovy was lowering my blood sugar. I think the lowest I've ever seen it was in the low 80s, high 70s, and I typically am right around 100. So that's concerning because I wasn't doing anything different with the two medications. If you look at what I'm doing now, what I'm doing before, I don't feel as tired taking Mounjaro as I did with Wegovy. And I have a feeling it has something to do with the blood sugar. Once again, there's no factual medical evidence behind what I'm saying. I'm speaking from personal experience. I know there's not many people out there who have taken both Wegovy and Mounjaro. So people want to make that decision and make the choice between which one they want to take. So hopefully I can provide some insight as to personal experience rather than the trials and what they provide, because it's such a small group, a small sample. I don't think it's really a good representation of side effects, weight loss results, and everything along those lines. You see a lot of people post about how they ended up in a hospital. Sure, my journey with Wegovy ended with me ending up in a hospital. I was working outside. I noticed when I was outside, I was a lot more sensitive to heat, and we were working on a patio. I was out there for probably about 8 hours that day. Once I finished, I was staying hydrated, but I got inside. My warm sweat turned into a cold sweat. I just started throwing up, passed out. Heartbeat was going crazy. And so they said I had a heat stroke, which I don't think the direct cause of the heat stroke was Wegovy, but I think some of the side effects that came from Wegovy definitely played a factor into what caused me to have the heat stroke. So that was kind of concerning for me because I'm only 27. So to be having those issues at 27, to me, once I've lost 45 pounds on a medication, I don't think it's really worth it when it's something I do know that I could do on my own if I really, really, really had to. But don't look at these medications as the easy way out, because you're still going to have to put hard work in. You still have to eat healthy. There's still a regimen you're going to have to follow. If you go and eat McDonald's every day while taking this medicine, you're not going to lose weight. It's that simple. So do you still have to exercise? You still have to do everything that comes along with it. This is more of a supplementation to your weight loss, is what I would say. So this is more of something, if you're having trouble getting going, this could help you get going. And a lot of people like looking at it as some people look at it as an easy way out. It's not an easy way out. Don't listen to those people. Some side effect wise, they've been pretty similar. I think Wegovy was a little more serious. I do notice that as far as digestion and food, like if I eat something, I could tell it's taking a lot longer to digest with Mounjaro. So if I eat something that's not the healthiest, if I eat something that's out of the ordinary, if it's, let's just say, fried, processed, or like I had like a chocolate bar one night. That chocolate bar bothered me for, oh my God, 2 days. And normally if I wasn't on medication, it would be like nothing. It wouldn't bother me at all. So it definitely changes what you can eat, how you feel after eating certain things, and just and that's more so that I've noticed with Mounjaro as compared to Wegovy. Wegovy, I could eat kind of whatever at nighttime. I didn't do well with fried foods with Wegovy, but I also think part of that is due to the lifestyle change. I haven't eaten really bad in a long time, so when I do go out and if I want to have like a burger or something, it does bother me more so than it ever did before, and that's probably because of these medications. But yeah, from a side effect standpoint, when you do your research online, a lot of people only post the negatives. They don't post the positives. The people who do post the positives, you'll see have had great results. And everybody who's had great results, I'd probably say more than half of them have also had side effects that came along with those great results. It's just a price you're going to have to pay. And even when you're losing weight, there's always going to be sacrifices you have to make. But if you really want it that bad, you really want to get to your goal weight, you want to be confident looking in the mirror, there's going to have to be sacrifices. You're going to have to deal with some of the ups and downs. And the downs suck, but the ups are wonderful. You can watch my past few videos. I mean, I'm happier now from a mental standpoint as far as looking at myself than I've been in a long time. Am I satisfied? No. Am I really confident when I look in the mirror right now? No. Am I more confident than I was? Yeah, of course. But I still have a long way to go. And I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, I've lost 60 pounds. I'm on the top of the world and this is just great. There's a lot more for me to do. There's a lot more for me to get to. But as far as where I am now compared to where I was at this time last year, there's no reason for me not to be happy with where I am. And these two medications definitely played a strong factor into me getting there. I'd say the biggest thing was, of course, the appetite suppression, which helped immensely. But another thing that helped me is just having a support system around me, eating healthy, exercising regularly, and just knowing what is good for me and what is bad for me. And really, if you feel guilty about doing something or eating something, in my opinion, you probably shouldn't be eating it. But everything's okay in moderation, like my coach says. Everything's okay in moderation. Don't take any joy out of, if you get joy out of once a week going out to a certain place with your significant other and eating at that place that might not be the best for you, do it once a week. Just maybe that day don't eat as much earlier in the day. Like, still give yourself that joy, give yourself that satisfaction. We really only live one life, so enjoy the life you are living. Don't suck any joy out of it. But also, if you want to really have a long life, healthy life, losing weight is also something that's very important. So everything in balance is what I've always said to myself and I've always been told. And I try and live by that, and it's helped me so far. So overall, when I compare the two medications from a weight loss standpoint, combining weight loss, price, side effects, and everything, I've had a better experience with Mounjaro. The only caveat is that I haven't lost as much weight as quickly as I did with Wegovy. But I think when I lost that weight very fast with Wegovy, it worked, but it also came with its side effects and its downfalls. So you have to weigh the pros and the cons. Are you okay with feeling crappy and losing weight really fast? Or would you want more of a steady weight loss that will add up to be a greater weight loss than Wegovy in the long run, but it may take longer to get there. So it's just look at your timeline, see what works best for you. But side effect wise, very similar medications. Can't stress it enough. 90% of people only post the negatives online. You don't hear about the positives. So take that with a grain of salt when you do your research. You'll scare the hell out of yourself reading some people's stories, and you just have to realize that these are one-off scenarios. Like when I posted about my heat stroke, people are saying I was trying to be fear-mongering. I was trying to scare people. That's not the case. It's trying to build awareness. So if someone's dealing with something that may be concerning, maybe they should go see a doctor. Maybe they should get looked over. Maybe you should have labs run. Don't ignore the obvious if you're not feeling well. I think some people just say, oh, I'm losing weight. Who cares how I feel? Well, if it's going to come with a price to pay, you should care about it. So weigh out all your options. If money's a thing, look into the programs. Look and see if there's saving programs. Look and see what manufacturer coupons there are for you. If you're worried about side effects, there's plenty of ways to deter them, as far as keeping your intake of protein very high water consumption, exercise, getting good sleep, all those things. I have videos about that in the past, but you could counteract and you could fight those side effects if you really try and really work towards it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding the two medications experiences, or if there's anything you're concerned about, feel free to leave a question down below. You can also message me, or if you follow me on TikTok, you could probably message me through there. Leave a comment. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Hopefully it could provide some value and some insight into these medications and my weight loss journey that you could learn from. And leave a thumbs up. If you have any comments, leave a comment down below. Question down below. And any concern, I guess, leave your concern down below. But like I said, all this is nothing's backed medically. It's all personal experience. So please take this. I'm not giving you medical advice. You should always see your doctor prior to making a decision regarding what you're going to take and what you're going to put into your body. But from my experience, my doctor worked with me. Everything's been going well, and I'm happy with the results. I will see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.